no, fan formula. I seriously need a new way of how to open these fun formulas because they seem to get worse and worse each week. But anyway, it's transfer time. I was kind of hoping for a kind of deadline day climax to the transfers that have happened in the past week, but sadly it didn't. But hey, maybe that's something that Formula One could look onto in the future. So if Bernie wants to get on that, or FOM, or Sky Sports, whatever, whoever is in charge. So yeah, let's just get going with this week's questions. Right, question 1. It was announced before the Singapore GP that Jake Humphrey would be leaving the BBC F1 team at the end of the season. Who do you think would be the best replacement for him in the 2013 season? I think Lee Mackenzie has this position in the bag. I don't quite know how it will work because who will replace her in the media pen kind of conducting all the interviews? You know, I know us women can multitask in many ways, but I just don't see how she will be able to do it because her interviews in the media pen are really, really good, so it'll be hard to replace her. Because then with the replacement of Lee Mackenzie in the media pen, it could be kind of that Jenny Gao maybe, who is on 5 Live, but then who will replace her. So it's kind of a whole kind of, it's all mixed up and kind of, look what you've done, Jake Humphrey, look what you've caused. Hope you're pleased with yourself. But no, in all fairness, I think he's done a brilliant job on the Beeb. You can't knock him, he knows his stuff. But going to BT, really? Who even watches BT television? I didn't even know they had television channels to broadcast football. I mean, I understand he's doing this because he's going to be a daddy and he wants to be kind of closer to his wife in leading up to the baby's birth or whatever. But it's not like the BBC have every single F1 race, so it's not like he needs to be there for the 10 races that the BBC don't have live. Plus, he's missed a few races because he wanted to be involved in the Olympics and kind of there was a Norwich game on or something, I don't know. But maybe I just thought he would have made a negotiation with the BBC because he does like BBC Sports Personality of the Year as well, so I doubt the BBC will let him back for that, but hey ho, I have no idea, but I think the BBC are gonna miss out sooner rather than later, and I'm pretty sure whether it's at the end of this season or at the end of next season, but I'm pretty sure they're gonna be pulling the plug on showing Formula One soon. So, which will suck, but the BBC should have thought about that before kind of funding for another episode of EastEnders, and that is kind of old news now, no one cares. Right, question 2, the obvious question, Hamilton to Mercedes. What is your view on his decision? Lewis Hamilton, what have you done? Simple. If I was a Formula One driver, which I could be sometime soon, you never know, and I was considering moving teams and I was a world champion, I would be looking at contracts with better teams because I would want to take a step forward in my career. I wouldn't consider taking kind of 5 steps back and joining a team that doesn't win anything. You know, how many races have they won this season? How many races have Mercedes won this season? 1. How many races have McLaren won this season? You can do the math on that because I don't know off the top of my head. Kind of, to me, that's really, really pointless. And you may not as well. No, you may not as... I don't know what I'm trying to say. You just might as not race. You might as not race. Does that even make sense? You just don't race. You're just pointless. You might as well just stay at home in your bed in Monte Carlo, wherever you are. Right. That was effort to get that out. I should probably put my teeth in. No, you know, we all know why Lewis Hamilton's gone to Mercedes. They've offered him a big, hefty paycheck. And Lewis thought, while listening to Chris Brown, whilst counting all his diamonds in Monaco, whatever, that he'd rather take the opportunity to get a hell of a lot more money than race for wins and race for championships. Kind of the last time Mercedes won a championship was in the 1950s, and if people are saying that no, the last time they won a championship was 2009, it wasn't. Brawn won the championship in 2009. Nothing to do with Mercedes, nothing. So people need to stop living on that high because it was Brawn. It was a team that do not exist anymore. So get over it. Right. Personally, I just think McLaren have benefited from this the most because they don't have to deal with all of the drama that comes with Lewis Hamilton. You know, they now have two very laid-back drivers driving for them who want to race and who want to win. So fair play to McLaren. If I had a hat on right now, I would take it off to you. So I would just take an imaginary hat off for you. But what has probably ticked me off the most, I'm just going on kind of a rambly rant now. There are all these people on Twitter who claim to be like the biggest McLaren fans, who used to kind of suck their balls and everything. I don't know if I can say that, but I just did. And now all of a sudden that Lewis Hamilton's gone to Mercedes, they're sucking Mercedes' balls. It's like, come on, where the hell is your loyalty to your team? Surely it should be the team that you support and then the driver second. That's how it should be, period, in Formula One. You know, when the day comes that Sebastian Vettel leaves to go to Ferrari, which will probably happen in the near future, I will refuse to put on a Ferrari shirt. I'll still support him and I'll still be like, yeah, go Sebastian, you've won, woo, but Red Bull are the team for me. So, just remember your loyalty, people. I don't know who out there will know who this is. The Fun Formula family will know who I'm going to be talking about. But someone on Twitter who claimed, again in inverted commas, to be McLaren's biggest fan, you know, this person would tweet them all the time and be talking to them like they're Bessie babes for life, is now all over the Mercedes Twitter page like, ooh, give me a follow please, I'm going to be wearing your merchandise next season. What the hell is up with that? If I was McLaren and I saw that tweet, I'd be like, unfollow, you can just get out, because what the hell is it with that? So that's probably the only thing that's pissed me off, really, to do with this whole Lewis Hamilton fiasco thing. I couldn't care less where he goes, but that has really, really kind of ticked me off. So I apologise for the slight language use on that. So right, yeah, let's just move on to question 3. Get that out of the way. Right. Question 3. Do you think Perez has made a good decision to go to McLaren, or do you feel he should have continued on his Ferrari-backed career? I think Perez has made a really, really good decision. You know, he's now at a team that he will be able to win. He'll be able to win comfortably, unless McLaren screw up his pit stops. But no, I think, you know, Perez has come very, very close this season already. To winning his first race in Formula One, and that was in a Sauber. So imagine what he can do in the McLaren, and I'm actually really, really looking forward to seeing next season, to see what can happen with him. Plus, you know, Jenson Button and Sergio Perez, it's like the two cutest people in Formula One have kind of united as one. Kind of Checo and JB. It's going to be the cutest thing, I think, ever to hit Formula One. So roll on 2013. What else was I going to say? Sorry, I have notes on the side of my screen. So I'm just trying to find where I was. Oh, yeah. I just think it'll be kind of a really, really good stepping stone for him. And Ferrari will be able to keep an extra close eye on Perez and see how he's doing, and then sign him up in the near future when Ferrari think that Perez is ready to join Ferrari. So I guess it's kind of watch this space with Sergio Perez. Right, bonus question. With a seat now effectively empty at Sauber, who do you think will fill Perez's boots? Oh god, how we love a good silly season with all this musical chairs nonsense. Kind of everyone now is saying that Michael Schumacher is kind of favourite. Well, not favourite, but could go to Sauber. I think the only reason he will go to Sauber is the money. I don't really see the need for him to go to Sauber. He might as well just hang up his racing boots and maybe take a management position somewhere. But I don't think that driving with Sauber will be any benefit to him. We've also heard as well on the lovely invention that is Twitter, from Jaime Alguersuari, that he has a seat somewhere, but he hasn't revealed where. He's keeping it hush hush. He could be teasing us all, and he could have a seat somewhere that's nothing to do with Formula One. It could be in kind of IndyCar or NASCAR or another race series. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one and keep refreshing Twitter every second that we can get. I mean, personally, I think it would be lovely to see Jaime Alguersuari back in Formula One. He has the most beautiful eyes, and wouldn't it just be lovely to be able to stare at them when they pop up onto the TV? So yeah, that would be nice. I also think completely different to Jaime Alguersuari's gorgeous eyes. I think Heikki Kovalainen would actually be a kind of a really good fit for Sauber. I'm not 100% sure if his contract is up at the end of the season with Caterham. If it is, I think he should definitely go to Sauber if the offer's there. He's a 10 times better driver now at Caterham than he was ever at his time with McLaren and Renault. I think it was at Renault before McLaren. Yeah, he was. I'm doubting my intelligence there. God, what am I doing? Yeah, so I think he's definitely improved since McLaren. Now he's at Caterham. He's been at a lower team. And he's been really, really fighting the car. And I think going to Sauber and having a car that is much easier to drive and a lot quicker to drive than the Caterham, I think he will be kind of a force to be reckoned with next season. So there is my name for the Sauber seat, Heikki Kovalainen. So there we have it. This Fan 4 Minute is finito. I'm not going to ramble on anymore because you have suffered enough of that and my not being able to talkness and making up words that aren't even in the English dictionary. So there you have it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope I haven't bored you to tears and you're thinking, when will this ever end? But yeah, thanks for watching. Enjoy the race this weekend. It's an early start, so we will all be drinking lots of energy drinks to keep us awake for practice, qualifying and the race. Go Red Bull. Let's hope that Seb wins, because Bez will be over the moon again. He's still reliving the joy of Sebastian Vettel's win in Singapore. He can't stop dancing around the room and he's just getting all excited. So, yeah, Sebastian Vettel for the win in Japan. Thanks again, guys. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all next week. So, bye.